AI has kind of permeated a lot of culture now, and I'd figured I'd give my stance on it. So I'll say this immediately. I don't use AI in the creation of my videos, simply because I don't need to. I play the games myself, write the reviews myself, and then edit the videos myself. Thumbnails are made in Photoshop CS2 from 2005 for crying out loud, because it doesn't require a subscription. Like Sony Vegas 14, the software I've relied on for 7 years is still the same software that I use now, because I don't need anything else and it constantly does the job. The newest change has been that my scripts recently started getting spell checked, because when I upgraded to Windows 11, automatic spell checking was added into Notepad. I write my scripts with Notepad. When you see errors or imperfections in my videos, it's because I made a mistake, or wrote something that didn't make sense. As they say, genuine stupidity over artificial intelligence. But generally, I don't need AI features to do what I do, in any facet of the various things that I make. I'm self-taught, and when I don't know how to do something, I use a guide. Whether it's making doors open in Doom or understanding how a narrative works, because I like making things, and I'd rather work at something and maybe do it badly than have an AI do it for me. It's not the same. I don't marvel at the creation, I marvel at the process, and I think that AI robs you of that. I recently played about halfway through the new Dark Phobia game, The Lightkeeper. I'm a big fan of Graveyard Shift, and Amenti was pretty great too, so I was really looking forward to this. I go into these games with low expectations since they've been pretty janky and poorly written in the past, but I find a sense of endearment when something is attempted and done poorly. It shows ambition even if the skill isn't there to back it up. When I started the game up, I was impressed with how the visuals and atmosphere were, and reading some of the diary entries, I was confused how suspiciously good it sounded in comparison to the stuff from the old games, which was less than a year old at this point. The cutscenes were a little off, and the main character looked a lot like an older Robert Pattinson from the 2019 movie The Lighthouse. I've seen the film a few times, it's one of my favourites, and there were a few recurring themes, like dead seabirds in the layout of the lighthouse, and the sound of the foghorn was near identical. It also felt dangerously close to replicating elements of No One Lives Under the Lighthouse too, but I suppose you are working under a limited theme. But after getting stuck on a specific spot in the game, I decided to go look up the community tab on Steam to see if it was a known bug or I was just missing something. And all I saw were people complaining about the use of AI in the game, accusing the coding, textures, and various other assets of being made by AI. I am not a game designer, I didn't notice these myself. The developers themselves had stated that AI had been used to do the voice acting, but by the time I got to play the game, they'd patched out the AI voice acting and instead had human voice actors. Something I'd noted when playing the game was how silly some of the brief voices were and how some scenes just had text and no voice acting. Now I knew why. As someone who only had some very basic creative writing, voice acting, and editing skills, I'm impressed how far I got by just doing it a lot. My early videos suck. Going back for the archive project, I was dismayed how bad some of them were. Mundawn as well had microphone buzz every time I spoke, a technical issue I didn't know how to fix then. My standards are higher now. I work with someone who makes AI-generated content. They have AI write the script, AI gather the footage for them, and AI voices it too. But they know I do YouTube, so they talk to me about it. And it's dismaying to talk about making things because they don't talk about the creative process, because there isn't one. I put on music and daydream, and ideas come to me in the shower or on a bike ride on the way to work. I think about the things I want to make or do, and I push through projects like the psychological horror video, which really took it out of me to shape ideas at every step in the process, hoping that the whole thing comes out coherent, and if I'm lucky, close to what I envisioned. They only talk about how they want to get more people to watch it, revenue goals, how the algorithm works. I learned a lot of terms for things I simply didn't use for YouTube because of them. I just make videos at the end of the day. I'm not marketing a product. They have no stake in the creative process because they didn't make any of it themselves. There's no love or care, or even just something that comes out bad or misguided or fails at what it does. I'd rather watch something that failed earnestly than succeeded dishonestly. AI feels like it was designed to do so many more things than replacing the creative process. It's ultimately just regurgitated media. Maybe that's why the Lightkeeper looks like Robert Pattinson. I'd always hoped that AI becoming better would mean that people could form better AI in video games, more adaptive enemies, more interactive environments, a story that can shape and change as you play it. But instead, it's replacing real voice actors and texture artists, people who have developed the skills and work to get where they are, and it's being done by people who could just do it themselves. I'd rather see a developer do a bad job at voice acting than know that nobody tried at all. There's no conclusion to this. My stance is just that it saddens me. I just wanted to talk about it a bit.